How's it going, everybody? Ryebread here today, and we are back with our Toronto Maple Leafs Franchise Mode, and in the Eastern Conference Finals, we will be taking on the Columbus Blue Jackets boys, who seem to have a very similar record to us, although they got to overtime a lot more and lost in overtime more so than we did. So I'll go ahead and check out their lines. I know we did at the end of last video, and I think I'm a little intimidated of this team, but we've been simulating well and we've been playing well, so I'm gonna trust us. Yeah, they got Panarin, Wenberg, Atkinson. Okay, that's not a. Yeah, Granlund, Bjorkstrand, Vanek. Okay, that's a decent second line. Granlund definitely makes that second line very, very good. Then you got Boone Jenner. They got Dubinsky and Nick Foligno here. Nick Foligno's on the third line. That's pretty sweet. And then Stenlin, Dubois, and Josh Anderson here. So it's a very solid forward core. Now defensively is where that's what scares me, boys. They got Ryan Murray and Zach Werenski on the first pairing, and then they have Seth Jones on the second pairing. And a very solid David Savard paired with him, and then Gabriel Carlson and Jack Johnson. I mean, their defensive core is, again, very, very solid. And then Jonas Korpisalo with medium starter potential. Doesn't he usually have medium elite? Anyway, 85 overall. Another solid, they're just an all-around solid team heading into this series, and I'm a little bit worried about that. So we'll go ahead and check out our lines here. I'll show you guys, refresh your memory if you guys can't remember. Sorry about the lack of consistency with videos. Been awfully busy. So there we go. Our first line, I think our first line is a lot more intimidating than theirs as far as pure talent is concerned. Second line, again, we're solid there, but I think they got a little bit of the depth. Their center core is definitely better than ours. But hopefully we can get these lines rolling because they've been doing well for us. So defensively, again, they have us beat here as far as depth. We have got the better player, but they have the more consistent 89, 88, 87 versus 90, 84, 81. But we have more down there on the fourth line he's been underperforming lately. The numbers are black and white. Cool. All right, so yeah, he wanted to talk. That's fine. We got Weidman there, who so far in the playoffs has 1 assist and is even. Moore here is a +7 now, so that's great. Bouwmeester's +1. Liljegren has been doing really, really well, and the top line guys have been doing all right. They're not a very big plus, but as long as we have good players getting it done, as long as we get it done, that's all that matters. Then we have Frederik Andersen and Steve Mason. So if Freddie Andersen starts to crumble here, although he has been playing well. He's not been stealing the show. He's not been absolutely fantastic. He's got 8 wins in 11 games. He's got 935 save percentage, 205 goal against average, and 1 shutout. So that's exactly what I expect from my goaltender in the playoffs. And I mean, so far it's been getting it done for us. And let's see if we can get it done for us in one more 7-game series, boys. Here we go. Heading into Columbus, as we do not have the home ice advantage that I believe we had in the first 2 series. But now we will be taking on Columbus here. Let's go. Enough talking, enough chit-chat, enough analyzing. Let's go ahead and play some hockey. Let's get the puck drop in game number 1. First period. All right, nothing, and they outshoot us severely. We only had 4 shots that period. There's 6. Let's check out. Did we take penalties a lot? Yeah, we took 2 penalties, which could be a reason for that whole shot discrepancy. But the second period... All right, neither team scores. They still have a lead of 6 shots on us, but Morgan Rielly, baby, scores that one from the high slot, and then Mitch Marner, the Stars. This is what I was saying, guys. Our top guys are actually picking up the slack here. I mean, for the first couple games, for the first 2 series, actually, I would bank more on our depth than I did on our top guys, but Bjorkstrand gets the game back to within 1 for Columbus and is now 2-1. As we enter the last 5 minutes, and Thomas Tatar, the trade deadline acquisition, as I keep repeating it because I'm proud of myself for that trade, he gets it done, and it's a 3-1 final for your Toronto Maple Leafs as we get past Jonas Korpisalo on only 21 shots. We scored 3 goals on 21 shots, and Frederik Andersen, I said he was doing average. That is a well above average game. That is a fantastic game for Frederik Andersen. 1 goal against on 35 shots. If he plays like that for the next 6 games, we're making it to the Stanley Cup Finals, boys, and I've got no doubt about that if he can keep that level of production up. But here we go. Get an early lead in the series. We won the first game of the series on the road, so that's important. I'd be happy if we head back to Toronto 1-1 in the series. Of course, you always want to go up 2-0. Who wouldn't want to be up 2-0 in a series? So here we go, boys. Game number 2 in Columbus. Can we silence the cannon? Only went off 1 time in game number 1. How many times is the cannon going off in game number 2? I'm going to hope for 0 times, but they're probably going to score. So unless Freddie Andersen wants to prove me wrong again, and then he can just get a shutout, so that'd be cool. First period. All right, so far so good. Shots are more even than they were in the first game. 10-9 now in favor of Columbus still. Second period. All right, and Thomas Tatar, the trade deadline acquisition, goes ahead and gets it done as we take the lead in shots by 5 that time, as we now have 22 shots to their 17, as we have a 1-0 lead heading into the third period of the Columbus Blue Jackets. First 5 minutes go by without too much action, but now the Columbus Blue Jackets have a power play, but we're able to kill it off. Halfway through the period, we are still up 1-0. There we go. 5 minutes left, boys. 4 minutes, 3 minutes, 2 minutes. Oh, God. I actually hit Y. 2 minutes, 1 minute. And Morgan Rielly scores an empty netter. Salt in the wounds gives us that a little bit of insurance that we needed with the last 44 seconds. And Frederick Anderson proves me wrong yet again and gets a shutout. And the cannon has gone off 1 total time in both games in Columbus. And that's what I'd like to see as we head back to Toronto. I mean, obviously the cannon is not going off while we're here in Toronto, but hey, the more times we can hear the goal horn, the goal song, hear those fans cheering, the better. All right, so we'll scout defensemen in Russia for 2 weeks. That's fine. Should scout Liga soon, too. I just checked that. And the middle Europe is not too important. Anyway, here on home ice in the Air Canada Centre, boys, these Toronto Maple Leafs fans, they can smell it. They can taste it. A trip to the Stanley Cup Finals is on the line here. I mean, if we go up 3-0 in the series, it's going to be a really, really good position for us to be in. Of course, who wouldn't want to be up 2-0 in a series? Who doesn't want to be up 3-0 in a series? Let's go, boys. Let's get it done on home ice. First period. All right, Bjorkstrand, only player for the Columbus Blue Jackets to score in this Eastern Conference Finals, but William Nylander, boys, Willie Nee, goes ahead and gets that one tied back up as we head into the second period, tied 1-1. Shots are in our favor on home ice, so that's good to see. Second period. All right, Willie Nee again gets 2 in a row, and then Connor Brown, boys, depth scoring. I mean, like I said, our stars are showing up. If we can get both the stars and the depth to click at the right time, and now is the right time. Eastern Conference Finals Game 3, if there's not a better time to get hot, let me know, because if you can get hot in the Eastern Conference Finals, if you got here without being hot before, I think if everything goes well for us, we got a legit shot this year, boys, but I can't count my chickens before they hatch. 3-1 here, headed into the third period. I don't want to get too excited. I am feeling good about this series. We've been playing well so far. Dubinsky, though, on that third line, goes ahead and gets Columbus back to within 1 as they're trying to mount and come back here halfway through this third period, only down by 1 now. They got 5 minutes to go. Can they force an overtime? And Dubinsky single-handedly wills his team to even in this game. 1 minute, and there we go. We are headed to overtime here on home ice. Let's hope that hometown crowd can propel us to the victory here in overtime. It is 3-3 heading into overtime. Who will be the hero? Is it going to be Kirby Reichel again? Or is it going to be one of the stars like Morgan Rielly, Austin Matthews, Mitch Marner? Who's it going to be? Maybe one of the unsung heroes? And it is going to be Bjorkstrand, who has been single-handedly carrying the Blue Jackets. Well, carrying them to 1 win, I guess. He's got 3 goals in this series, and only him and Dubinsky are the only 2 Blue Jackets players that have scored in 3 games. Rough to lose one there on home ice, but we did take 2 on the road, so I am still happy about that. Player morale now. Frolik is a presence. Feels awesome to be playing out there, demanding. I assume that's going to be fine. He responds well to it, so go ahead. Frolik, I want to see a goal from you, man. I haven't heard from you in a long time. Morgan Rielly leads our team in points, which I'd assume Austin Matthews would, or Mitch Marner, or Nylander. But hey, if Rielly wants to lead the team in points, albeit good for him. And it is 2-1 in the series here. We need to win this second game on home ice. If we don't win this second game on home ice, I'm going to get a little bit worried about it. This is a must-win game for both teams. It's more a must-win for Columbus because they can't go down 3-1. But if we let them tie the series back up on home ice, that would seriously kill morale. It'd kind of sting a little bit too. But let's go. It all starts with a strong first period. Here we go, boys. And yes, it's a strong first period. It's Nazem Kadri. That's one of the guys I've been hoping to see. That second line, been a little quiet. That's what I was saying. I want to see Frolik score. I believe he's still on the second line. I completely forgot already. But we do outshoot them 13-5 here at the end of 1. There we go, boys. If we can get our middle six has been quiet. I mean, Connor Brown a little bit, but I can't really pinpoint where we've been. We've just been all around solid, and I will take that. Freddie Anderson, keep playing the way you've been playing, my man, because last game, a little bit of a fluke there in the third period. Didn't shut the door like I had hoped, but hopefully you can shut the door here in game number 4. Second period. keeps the door closed, and that allows William Nylander to get the second goal of the night for the Toronto Maple Leafs, and we head into this third period up by 2 yet again. Same thing happened last time. Can we make it 3 on the power play? We cannot. We are out shooting them though, and Frolik, I said I wanted to hear from him. He scores, gives us the 3-goal lead. Halfway through the period, we kill off Columbus's power play, get one of our own, but cannot capitalize on it. 5 minutes left in the period, 4 minutes, 3 minutes, 2 minutes, 1 minute power play. We can't score on the power play, but that's all right, boys. Freddie Anderson slams that door shut, and it's now 3-1 in the series as we score once in each period. And hey, if we score 3 goals in a game before the end of regulation, I'll be very happy, and I definitely think that Frederik Andersen, if we can get 3 goals, he's not going to allow more than 2. I really think that's a recipe for success for us. 1 goal per period. Frederik Andersen, keep playing like you are, my man. And, you know, if he keeps playing like this, only 1 blunder so far. Not too bad. Nazem Kadri now leads the team in points. Okay, so Kadri's been getting a lot of assists, just not a lot of goals. I will take that. Hey, if you're going to put up points, that means we're putting up goals. So I will take it. Now heading to Columbus with a trip to the Stanley Cup Finals on the line in front of the Columbus Blue Jackets crowd. Can we go? Will this cannon stay silenced? It's gone off once this whole series. Can we keep it quiet? First period, and there it goes. With 3 seconds left in the first period, the cannon goes off. Oh my God, they had 16 shots. How many penalties did we take? We only took, Kirby Reichel took a boarding major. That might be gone for the game, boys. That's not good. Second period. Oh, and Granlund scores, but Austin Matthews keeps us within 1, keeps this game respectable. They have won the periods, I would say. And now in the third period, we got to play a little bit of catch up. They are outshooting us by oh my God, they're crazy outshooting us by over 15 shots. They do not want to be sent home. They get a 5-on-3, but we kill it off. Clutch time now on the power play. 5 minutes to go. We cannot score on a clutch power play with 3 minutes, 2 minutes. Somebody step up. And Ryan Murray is going to go ahead and get Columbus a 3-1 victory. And there are those 3 goals before regulation. We only scored 1 as Jonas Korpisalo keeps that door closed, although the puck was in our end for most of the night. And now we're headed back to Toronto, the Air Canada Centre, ready to go. They get a chance to see their Leafs go to the Stanley Cup Final for the first time since I don't know when. But hey, it's going to be great if we can get there, but we got 1 more game before we can get there, boys. We need to win this one. I do not want to go to Game 7. Not at all. No, thank you. It's totally unpredictable, but Game 6 in our hands, in our building, with our fans ready to go. Can we advance to the next round and get to the Stanley Cup Finals, boys? Starts with, again, a strong first period. That's been the key this entire series. Whoever wins the first period, more often than not, will win the game in this series. So let's go. First period, and it's tied 1-1. Oh, Steve Mason's in. Why is Steve Mason in? That is bad. Why is Steve Mason in net? This is why I signed a quality backup, but still, Steve Mason in net over Frederik Andersen. That is not a good sign. Shots are about even, still in favor of Columbus. Come on, Steve Mason. I got faith in you. I signed you. I brought you here because I believed in you. I thought you could get the job done if Frederik Andersen couldn't. Can we get our forwards to provide enough offense to give him enough cushion? He's not been here much. He's not been playing much this season. Can he get it done in one of the most crucial times of the season? Second period. And he does in the period in the trade deadline acquisition. Thomas Tatar scores, and it's now 2-1 as Columbus is peppering us with shots. 25 shots at the end of 2, but only 1 goal to show for it is Toronto. We need to get some more offense here, boys. Another goal. I'd love an insurance marker right now. We're only up by 1, and William Nylander answers my prayers, and it's 3-1 halfway through the period. 5 minutes to go, boys. 4 minutes, 3 minutes. They're putting on shots. 2 minutes, 1 minute, and we are headed to the Stanley Cup Finals, boys. A very solid series. Went 6 games. We won 4-2 in the series, obviously, but a very solid series all around. I wouldn't say there were any real weaknesses, and we will be taking on the Winnipeg Jets. It is an all-Canada Stanley Cup Finals, boys. Let's go. And all right, look at this. All right, so let's go just recap our path through the Eastern Conference here. We faced Ottawa in round 1. That was a quick one. That one only went 5. We did give up. We did get shellacked in game number 2, but we bounced right back. 2 clutch overtime wins to end the series. Now in the second round, we faced the New York Islanders. We took game 1. We got shut out in game number 2. Close one there. That was the tipping point in the series. Then we lose the next one. So it was 2-2 after that one. But then we won the next 2 by a sizable margin, 8-1 in 3-0 victory there, both solid. Then we carried that strong defensive performance with a solid offense, not as much as, not blowing up like we did against the Islanders, but we were very solid with 3 goals. We're quiet here with only 2 goals, but we got the shutout we needed from our boy. Then we lose in overtime in a tight one. I think Anderson might have he lost the lead a little bit in that one. We had a 3-1 lead. They scored 2 goals there in the third. They then came back to win it in overtime, but then bounced right back with another shutout victory in this series. We lose 3-1, forcing a game number 6, but on home ice, we get the job done, boys, and now have a chance to face the Winnipeg Jets for the Stanley Cup final, boys. Let's go! Round of the playoffs is over. Both series went 6, and we are taking on Winnipeg. Now let's go ahead, check out their lines as we end this video here. Check out what the hell Winnipeg is going to be throwing at us. That's Washington. Winnipeg. Wheeler, Scheifele, Laine. That's another star-studded first line. Now, our first line, pretty much the same. I think we got a better player in William Nylander instead of Wheeler here, but, anything goes. I mean, he's a very physical presence. And Mitch Marner against the boards. Mitch, I don't want you anywhere near the boards. I don't want you dying. Then they have Nikolai Ehlers on their second line with Brian Little and Matthew Perreault. Okay, so it starts to get a little bit weaker there, but then they have Kyle Connor on the third line. I guess he's listed as a third line forward, but he's got... Okay, so this bottom 6 could play huge. Like our bottom line here is about as good as theirs, if not a little bit better. Third line, we win the battle in the center, but they win the battle on the wing. Our second line, I think, is more even. They got the star Ehlers, but a worse guy in Matthew Perreault. Defensively, they have Trouba, Bufflin. That's a very solid pairing. I would say that's a better pairing than our Theodore Riley, because Theodore's not quite as good as Bufflin, but Riley's better than Trouba. And they have Morrissey, Myers, and then, they have Kulikov and Sami Niku, who is not worthy enough to be in the NHL at all. So our bottom 6 might have a chance to shine here because our first line might be kind of tied up there. And in goal, Hellebuck and Comrie, so another solid 1-2 punch. I wonder why Anderson wasn't playing. Either way, they're very much built like we are. If we go ahead and check out our lines here, the first lines I'm going to say are a wash because... we do have the better players because Mitch Marner is better than Wheeler, but I'm fine. Then Tatar is better than their left winger, but Nealers is easily better than Frolik. He wants to talk again. Man, he's really wanted to come into my office. Third line, they might have the edge here a little bit. We definitely have the better center in Sam Bennett here. Connor Brown puts up goals. He's better than his overall suggests. And then Kirby Reichel, Zach Hyman, Soshnikov. I think that's better offensive line than they have. And a little bit better defensively, too. As far as depth, we have the depth defensively here, for sure. Without a doubt, we've got the better depth. But they have the better players. I mean, we would have an 81 our bottom lines. They don't have that. They have a 79 and 75, but they definitely have the star power. And then in goal, boys, you already know who it is. Frederick Anderson, 942, 184. And then Steve Mason played very solid, 33 saves, 1 goal against in our victory there in game number 6. So I don't know why he was playing. Maybe Anderson got hurt early in the game, but he's back. He's ready to go. And those stats definitely look a lot better than when we started the series. So that was his series, boys. We're getting hot. We're ready to go. But that is all the time I have for this video. Make sure to leave a like if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you want to see some more. And I will see you guys in the next one.